So I put the orange in the ring just so they may be associated with food. We'll see you tomorrow, but I'm just watching the carp a bit more first. I might as well let you do it as well. So today I got the carp out, and you will see a video that I've just filmed against this very green screen in my garage. Hello, it's Sunday, and before I start and tell you what's been going on, I still haven't got vlog 4 up yet, because one thing I forgot when I started green screening again is how long it takes to compile, especially if you're doing it in 4K and you've got quite a lot of it. And there's a fair amount in vlog 4, which you'll probably know if you're watching this, but this being Sunday morning, I still haven't uploaded it. But we'll get there. Anyway, what have I done today? So I've done quite a few jobs. I'm a bit hot and sweaty. They're not all pond related, they're all garden related, and there's a secret project that I will give you a sneak preview of, and then in a few weeks or maybe even months I'll show you what's come of it. You're free to guess if you fancy doing that. Anyway, I'll just turn you around. Right then, noisy garage door. Right then, you possibly can't see, but I've pointed about 80% of the drive. I haven't pointed over there. I've used the same stuff I used in the back garden around the pavers, but you probably can't see it. But I've done all that. That took a while. Right then, oh, what else? Right, excuse me, noisy garage again. Right then, garage is very messy at the moment. I'll tell you why at some point, probably not today. Right then, let's go back outside. Right, the other Sunday morning job I've done is again not particularly pond related. It's all this, let me step back a bit, all this clay soil, which is awful quality. It's some of the worst clay soil as well, because some of it is taken from about 3 foot down, where there's all sorts there, certainly not any good soil. But what I've done today is, as you can probably tell, with the help of a pickaxe and a fork, I've dug it all up and watered it. And I've got some clay breaker stuff coming soon, hopefully tomorrow. So I'm going to add that to it as well, and then dig all that in. Let's have a look at the fish. There they are. And in the feeding ring you can see half an orange, which I don't think they've been that keen on, but I'm going to persevere whether they like it or not. Now something I might talk about later in the week. Let me zoom in. See the flow coming out of there, super fast. And what's weird is I've turned the very pump down. It was at about 85%, I've turned it down to 65%. And for some reason it's going faster, and I'm not sure why. I don't know. I do wonder if perhaps my vari pump's playing up. Perhaps it's not the stuff blocking the impeller, it's actually the vari pump's playing up. Although, when I cleaned the filters yesterday, I forgot to close the valve gate, so water was flowing out of the filtration, and I just wonder if it almost back flushing through the pump cleared something. I don't know. Anyway, should we get some food for the fish? And as I said, last week, I'll go around here because they invariably don't mind so much. So I'm sat around here. See how long it takes them. I've been doing a lot in the garden this morning, like I said, with the earth and hitting things with a pickaxe, so they're a little bit subdued, I think. But yeah, it's gone well this morning. A bit tiring, but more jobs off the list. And I'm going to show you the secret project in a minute. So I've put the orange in the ring just so they may be associated with food. That's the plan. Because they're definitely associating the ring with food. And a couple of them have had a nibble at it, but I don't think they're that keen yet. They may never want to. I know it's something Koi eat quite a lot, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. It's just a bit of fun, really. So, if you look behind the pond, sort of there, my finger takes the focus. Will this help? I don't know. Yeah, there you go. That black box over there, which is actually made out of the sort of plastic pond I used to put the fish in when I measured them and stuff. But it's not being used for anything fish related. Although its lid is covered in pond liner, and yeah, but I'm still not using it for anything fish related. And I'm not going to show you what I'm using it for yet. I will show at some point later. If you can guess, that's great. But I'm not sure if this is a harebrained scheme or not. I don't know if it qualifies. But yeah, it's the first time I've done what I'm doing anyway. So we'll see how it gets on, and I'll show you the results when they happen. Right, I'm just going to turn you around. Right, yeah, so everything's going well. Field clean went well yesterday, although, as I said, I can't really understand why the pump is now running even faster. At 65%, the flow is faster than it was at 85%. I wonder, as I said, because I didn't close the valve gate, whether the water went backwards through the system basically and ran through and out of the pump, whether it cleared something, or whether there was an air block and it cleared that. Is it called an air block? I think so. Maybe that was it. Maybe that helped. So I don't know, but it's running better than ever. I just hope it's just not playing up, because what my old pump that I had that wasn't a vari pump is, I found as it was coming to the end of its life, basically, one day it would seem to be running at 15,000 litres an hour, and the next day it would be 5,000 litres an hour. It was very strange. So I hope it's not that. But yeah, I think maybe it almost back flushing through the system either cleared a blockage, or maybe there was an air block, and that was it, which makes some sense. So maybe that's what I'll do every time I clean the pond. I'll let some water run back out the system. It's a plan. Tomorrow is supposedly the day where I clean the pump, where I get in the pond, but I don't think I'll be cleaning the pump. I will be cutting the plants, and I will be cleaning the bottom of the pond, and I'll have a look at the algae. I don't think it's changed a lot. I might have to do 2 treatments, which is unheard of with this stuff, that I don't mention. Yeah, so all good. Fish are doing really well. And yeah, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm working 12-hour days. I should have time my lunch break for the Monday and Wednesday jobs, but I won't film them because they'll be super rushed. And then Thursday is Glue the Carp Fin day, which I postponed because I've just been a bit busy today and I'm a bit tired and I haven't been feeling that well, and I was quite busy yesterday as well. So I'm going to do it next Thursday. And also there's something that should be coming which isn't vital for getting that done, but will be quite interesting. So hopefully that'll come, and I'll talk more about that on Thursday. And then after I do that, I'll be able to edit the whole Carp Fin series together. Or shall I wait to see how the super glue works? Who knows? I'll decide at some point. So yeah, I think that'll be it for today, and I'll see you in a bit. Hello, it is Monday afternoon. Now I did say I was working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, long days, but as it turned out, I've changed to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I'm getting done all the jobs I was gonna do Thursday, Friday, today and tomorrow. Problem is it's hot. And I don't know if I look it, but I'm well hot. So I've done a lot and I've finished a lot, some of it pond and garden related, most of it really. So I will show you. I'll just turn you around. Right then, so the garage is once again tidy, well as tidy as it gets. So I've changed some things, stuck some wood up there, stuck some hose pipe up there, stuck some more pipe up there, more pipe up there, added an extra shelf for car stuff, attached all those tools to there, taken them off the shelf, got rid of some of the wood that I wasn't going to use, got a bin, and moved all the rocks in here. Yeah, so it's all a bit tidier. So I just have to, you know, tidy it up fairly regularly or it gets a mess. Take some food. Right, let's go outside. So, secret project that I'm not going to tell you about is there. And greenhouse. If you know my garden, the greenhouse is gone, and it's gone over here, which does look shady, but it does get some sun, and I think it'll get enough sun. So what I've done is, this is one of the areas I wasn't sure what I was going to do with, so it was just earth there underneath it. So what I did is use some old pond liner as like weed membrane. It'll be partly successful. Put some pebbles on it, and then put one of my spare pallets on top. Yeah, that's my wife's greenhouse. I'm going to make on the side of this shed a little shelf, and then she can kind of do potting on there. And if I'm really clever, I might make it hinged, but we'll see. And then I'll think of something to do there. I haven't decided yet. All right, so that's that I've done. Obviously I've tidied up that. Secret project I'm not going to tell you about yet. There's the fish, they're doing well. The water's a little green. I'm thinking I can't decide why the water's a bit green. It's sometimes when you're getting rid of the string algae, as the treatment works on it, you do find you get broken up bits of algae that looks like kind of the microscopic small algae and gives you green water, but isn't actually green water, if that makes sense. It's the dying off algae. I think that makes sense. So yeah, I'm not sure. I may change the bulb in the UV. I think 2.5 years is long enough. The fish are doing well. They still don't like me standing in that spot. Oh yeah, it's the other thing I've done today. I've got in the pond, done some cleaning. The pump is still working really well. If I had to put money on it, I think it was an air block. So I think part of what I'll do every week when I clean the filters is I'll let water flush through the system into the pond, kind of backwash it, if that makes sense. It's still good rate, and I'm using less electricity as well, which is always a good thing. Right then, let's pour some food into this ring. There you go, and I'll give the fish some time, they won't go to it straight away. And sit down and have a bit of a chat. Right, oh, see, I've done another job today. I did say I was going to improve this area. I don't think that's an improvement. So none of those rocks, there's at least 2 of them I don't want to keep there. None of those rocks are cemented in place or anything like that. And I haven't repaired that fence properly, or that bit of the fence either. But once I made my mind up whether I like that or not, I will then cement them in place, I think I will. That's my plan anyway. Yeah, right, let's sit down and have a bit of a chat. Let's turn you around. I'm a bit mucky and a bit sweaty because it's been a fair amount of hard work today, really. It's a manual labour and it's quite hot. I did pause to watch the mountain bike Olympics, cross country, men's. Tom Pidcock won. with a brilliant move on the last lap if you watched it. Fingers crossed he hasn't been disqualified. I don't think he will. Mountain bike kind of lets you do lots of sketchy moves. But that was really good. Enjoyed that. Right, the fish are coming up for the food. Hold on a sec. There they are. See, they can definitely see me over here and they don't mind. This is a place they feel I should be. They spook themselves though. So yeah, they don't really care that I'm sat here. But they do spook each other quite a bit, which is quite funny. Yeah, so everything's going well. Like I say, I think I've got a bit of green water, but I'm not sure if it's the algae dying off or it's actually green water. I think probably getting a new bowl for my UV wouldn't be a bad idea. And I don't, yeah, I'm going to see. I might do another treatment next week as well, because it hasn't done a lot to that string algae. I think that's because usually I cut down the feeding and then don't clean the filters for a fortnight when I treat. But I didn't cut down the feeding, so I had to clean the filters, which then meant I probably diluted the treatment, which was a little bit silly, but you know, that's life. Don't those fish look grand? Yeah, so I'm almost certainly you could probably see the algae there. Some of that green that you can see in the ground and in the ring is actually a reflection of the plants, but there is some algae there too. I mean, it's not got any longer, but it's not got any better. So yeah, definitely treat it again, and I'll consider getting a new bulb for the UV just for that what's the word, just for the microscopic stuff, if that's what's causing the green water. Now, one thing I've noticed, and you might notice if they play ball, is those 4 carp that I got originally, the mirror carp, they were all identical sizes when I got them, but they're definitely showing different growth. One is growing quite porky, but I don't think is growing much longer, and there's one that's still quite slim and a little bit short, and there's lots of reasons why that might be. Just, you know, like you get short people, you get smaller fish, or it might be, especially the slimmer sort of shorter one might be male and the others might be female. I've really not looked at these fish to have a look what they are, whether they're male or female. So that's the other change of plan this week. Sorry, whizzing ahead. I'm going to do the Carp Fin tomorrow. Yeah, I will actually, as I'll have her out, or him out, I will have a look to see if it's obvious what sex that fish is, or at least I'll post some pictures maybe, and I'll let you lot decide. Anyway, I've definitely done too much in the garden today because they are a little bit spooked. Yeah, if you see those 2 mirror carp either side of the common carp, the one nearest is quite a bit smaller, I think, than the mirror carp the other side, which I think is relatively interesting because they seem to feed a reasonably similar amount. I have thought, sorry, I was distracted by my own fish then. I have thought about whether I should be giving them names. I haven't really done it consistently. So I've got one mirror carp that's got a smattering of scales. I've got one that's got very big scales, but it's almost a linear in the pattern. I've got one that has very few scales apart from across its back. So it's not a leather carp, but it's, you know, closest. And then obviously I've got the common. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I should give them names or what names to give them. But we'll see. I was going to turn the camera back on me, but I think the fish are more interesting. This is why my vlogs end up being an hour long, isn't it? Because I just show you 20 minutes of the carp. But they're very chilled, aren't they? I do like it when they're just swimming around slowly. They had a bit of a few minutes yesterday. I was watching them on my CCTV camera, and they were almost sort of skittish, and almost how the rud I've had have been before they've spawned, in that they're kind of swimming around fast, kind of almost chasing each other, but not quite. And they weren't flicking or flashing or anything like that. They just seemed to be, kind of excitable. I did feed a lot yesterday. I was kind of in and out the garden a lot, and every time I went out, I fed them. It's probably not a good idea. I did try and do some filming yesterday where I had the camera right above the feeding ring, which my previous carp didn't bother about, but as I've prattled on quite a lot, these carp really don't like the tripod, the camera on a tripod, so they would not come and eat at all whilst that camera was hanging over it. And then as soon as I moved it and took it inside, they then came in it, which was a shame, because I thought it could have been quite good, quite nice footage. Common carp's a bit of a bruiser, isn't it? Now, what I was going to say, that if I was doing the carp fin on Thursday, what I was going to say I was going to do as well after I had it out was measure it, because I've ordered an adhesive measuring strip for that new smaller black bowl I've got, and but I don't think it's going to come by tomorrow when I get the carp out, and I'm not going to get the carp out specially. In terms of measuring them, I'm going to measure them in winter, so kind of the end of winter, and there's two reasons for that. One, they're sluggish comparatively, so they'll be easier to catch, and two, that the plants will be smaller, so the lilies won't be around at all, and most of the rest of the plants won't have grown back, so it's going to be a lot easier to catch them. And the easier it is to catch them, the safer it is as well, and the less stressful it is. The harder it is, and you're trying to work around the lilies and all that sort of thing, it just becomes more stressful for everybody, myself included. Anyway, that's a nice waffle for today. I'm very heat exhausted. I've done a lot today. I'm just going to check the temperature of the pond. I'll leave you with the fish. This is 19.8, which is pretty good. Like I say, although it was warm yesterday and it's really hot today, my pond will go up to 20, but it'll take 24 hours of really hot weather to do it. And in the same way it cools down really slowly, it also gets hot really slowly. And I think it's one definite advantage of having an in-ground pond to an out-of-ground or mostly out-of-ground pond. I think it's a lot easier for you to kind of lose temperature more slowly, which is a good thing, obviously, for the fish. And also because I've got the shed and then I've got all these plants, it's kind of quite a good wind break as well. Obviously wind does play a small part across the top of the pond, but when the plants are like this, it does give them a reasonable wind break as well, because obviously wind chills the water as well. So yeah, all in all, pretty good. Right then, that's me done for today, I think. Oh, don't know if you saw that. It's a very nice dragonfly flying around. Wants to come on the pond, but I'm sat here, I think. My jobs for tomorrow, as well as repairing the carp's fin, or trying to, I'm gonna try and repair that, and yeah, I think that's quite an important job before it rains again. And yeah, I've done a lot of the jobs I was going to do tomorrow. I've just kind of got on with all of it really. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed that. I will see you tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow, but I'm just watching the carp a bit more first. I might as well let you do it as well. That looks like a good time. Okay, I will see you tomorrow. Hello, it is Tuesday afternoon and I'm hot and tired and sweaty and messy. And the garage is all a mess again. Right, so I've had quite a busy time. I went for a nice walk this morning before it got too hot. Did about 5 miles. Meant to do a bit of filming, you know, make this even more of a vlog that isn't just the pond and garden. But I didn't in the end because I forgot. And when I go for walks, I tend to listen to audiobooks, which I tend to do whilst I'm doing jobs as well. So I was a bit engrossed in that. So let's show you what I've done today. Yeah, so as I said, nice big mess. Let's not linger on that. Right, first things first, I'll show you that over there. So today I got the carp out and I netted it quite easily actually, though I think it did hurt its belly when it escaped once. But you might see that in the video. I'm not sure if it shows up or not. Now I'm catching it with that net, which is slightly too small, but I've got one of these big nets that are quite good if the fish are quite calm or if you're in an above ground pond. But in my pond, it just doesn't work, especially when all the plants are growing. So I've got that one and it worked okay. You know, like I think I said on previous videos, I did quite a lot of fishing, so I'm reasonably competent netting fish. But anyway, there's my carp fishing unhooking mat, which I use to do some treatment on the fish. Now, I sedated last time, wasn't hugely successful, even though I ended up giving the fish more than the recommended dose. It was sedated a little bit, but not so much that it was still. So today, and if you don't know, I was super gluing the fin, or having a go at super gluing the fin. I did it without sedation. I just got my son, who also has been carp fishing, to give me a hand and held the fish. So we did the kind of wet towels over everything, over the fish and everything but the fin really. And I will, hold on a minute. Now it's looking okay. It is tucking that fin in a little bit, not a huge amount, but it's tucking it in. Now the problem with super glue is obviously there's a limit to how long you can keep the fish out after. And it's not super glue. I think, as I've said before, I'm using medical grade glue, for wound fastening, fixing glue. And I don't know if it's going to work. I nearly stuck my finger to the fish at one point, which you may see in the video. This is my last go at it. Certainly, and maybe till next winter. I don't intend to net any of the fish again until the end of next winter, which is when I'll do some weighing, as I've said. And if the fin is still a problem, then I might have another go at it. Or I might just leave the thing alone, really, and just live with it. That's what that fish is. I was watching the Fish with Carl channel, and the Big Common, in the lake he was fishing, I think it was called the Big Common, had a split fin in a slightly different place, but had a split fin. It's not, it looked a lot healthier than last time, but it was getting quite sore where the fin meets the body, as it were. I'm not quite sure what that's called. Is it called the knuckle? I can't remember. Elbow, maybe? I don't know. But it looked quite sore and it didn't today, so that was good. And again, that's another reason why I might get the fish out if that's starting to look sore or problem. I'll just show a few pictures of me doing it today, which you can see now. Yeah, it went very smoothly. My son held the fish. I did the treatment, kept the fish nice and wet, and gave it a little bit afterwards, but obviously you can't give it too long. Right, so that's mainly the only pond thing I've done today, but I have been busy. There you go. So you might have seen yesterday, or hopefully you would have seen, but I moved my wife's greenhouse over here. Put some pond liner as weed membrane, then some pebbles, then a pallet, and then moved the greenhouse. And today I've made some changes on this side. So you know my guttering that I put in, I've just simply put the watering can underneath it and a bit of an extension, so it'll collect water into there. It doesn't collect a lot of water, so that should be fine. I don't think I need a water butt. And then I've made this. I'll say before I start, I'm gonna paint it, but I haven't got a paintbrush. I've got paint, but no paintbrush. And I'll show you what it is. And it is, this is terrible filming, I'll step back. It is a like a potting shelf table thing, but it can fold up because there's not a lot of room here. Hold on a sec, I've gone a bit wide angle. There's not a lot of room here, so yeah, it just gives my wife somewhere to do some potting while she's doing stuff in her greenhouse, and that is kind of a lid for it, but it also acts as a shelf. Shelf when she's working. And all I bought was this blue rope. That's all I didn't have really. Some kind of blue rope. Using cable ties as always. Yeah. And that's it. And it works relatively well. Tiny bit of bodging involved. But yeah, I'm quite happy with that. And then I also put some more pond loader down as weed membrane and put some pebbles there. And that's my solution for that area of the garden, which I think is quite a good idea. Oh yeah, but I moved the fake ivy down below, so there's a bit of a gap there, put it down below. Yeah, and I'm pretty happy with that. So it'll be more useful to my wife next year when she's potting up seeds and stuff. But yeah, so I'm going to give that a couple of coats. It's going to pour with rain on Thursday, so I'd like to get 2 or 3 coats on that, at least on the outside, before then. And I'm going to use the same paint I painted the rose beds with, that brown paint, rather than go with the black again. So yeah, that's that. Pretty happy with that. And I'll just have a little bit there. You can see the carp, the common. It's kind of tucking its fin in a little bit. Now I thought maybe I'd glued the fin incorrectly in place with some of the super glue, but I don't think I have. I think it's just how it's holding it at the minute, because it does flick it out occasionally and it's obviously not stuck. But yeah, there's my pond. As for the algae, some of it's starting to go brown. Not a lot of it, but some of it. But yeah, right then, I'll just turn you around again. Yeah, get out of there because it's a bit hot. So I'm just now going to tidy up and eat some food because I'm starving. And that'll be all I do for today. So that's it. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to do some editing of all the fish fin stuff. And I'm going to give it a week and then I'm going to have a look at it. And then not get it out, but have a look at it. Maybe put a camera under. And then I'll make the video properly and talk about it properly. Right, so I'll see you later. Hello, it's Wednesday afternoon. I'm taking a little break from work and whole day working from home today. So casual attire and plenty of time to come and look at the garden. All right, I'll just show you, turn you around, have a look at the fish. I've just fed them. As you can see, there's a few pellets left. They've just come up, had a nosh. Now you might be able to see the common carp fin. So it's holding it out properly again. It definitely hasn't, sealed together perfectly, but that's okay. Yeah, it just caught a glimpse of my shadow, as you might be able to see. Casting a big shadow, and that's scooted them off. Yeah, so I don't think that's going to be perfect, but as I said yesterday, I'm going to leave it alone now and just let it live its life. Yeah, come back up for some food. Seems quite happy, so that's good. Yeah, I'm not doing a lot today. It's Wednesday, so I've got to do the quick clean on the filters, which I'm going to get done in a minute. First, I thought I'd show you how the folding up potting shelf is coming on. So I'm painting it at the minute, which is why the rope is outside, because it would get paint on. So I'm just leaving it there for now. It's nearly done. I don't know if I'll do too many more coats. I haven't got any UV varnish to put on it. I might see how a really small tub of it is and use it. I don't know. I'll talk to my wife, see what she wants. It's hers after all. Yeah, so this little corner is pretty much finished. Right then, as I said, I am about to do the quick Wednesday clean on the pressure filter and the Tempest. Just give them a boil and a flush. I won't show you it, I showed you it last week. So yeah, just going to do that and then I'll get back to you. Yeah, so I thought I'd just explain something that I don't think I've explained, and that is when I do this midweek clean, I drain the water from the pressure filter and the Tempest into the sump, but I don't put my dirty water pump in there and pump it away, because I just clean them both enough that the water I lose won't overflow the sump. So it's just quite handy that I don't have to get everything out. And generally the simpler and more straightforward everything is, the more likely I am to do it. So I did kind of clean them twice a week, but that did mean I'd have to get the pump out. I don't really want to do that, so I just do it once a week. I think it's enough. It's another lovely day. It is actually far too hot, so I'm going to be a typical Briton and complain. Although, to be honest, I haven't been complaining about the weather not being that warm this year. It doesn't make a lot of difference to me. You know, it's my pond's been between 17 and 20.5 for most of the summer, and it's about as hot as it gets, really. It's about 20.8 now, which is quite nice, but you know, it takes prolonged upper 20s for a long time before it will even think about getting to 22 degrees, let alone 24 or 26 or near those temperatures. And you know, the up and down weather hasn't really affected my pond, as I keep waffling about every video, because my pond gains and lowers so slowly. The up and down weather doesn't really bother my fish, and also they're native species, you know, and they tend to they tend to be a little less bothered about that than koi and goldfish and all those kinds of fish do. So yeah, all good in the pond. That common carp got over its indignity yesterday. Yeah, didn't really mind, to be honest. I think it was better off not sedating it. I don't think there's a good reason to sedate it. As I say, I think if you can do what you're doing safely and accurately, and you don't increase the risk by not sedating, and you've got someone to help you like I have, I wouldn't sedate. I don't think it's necessary. But if you are on your own and you haven't got anyone to help you and don't think you can do it safely without sedating, then sedating's a good idea in that case. My plan for that fin, I've been having a long think, because it's half joined, so it's better than it was. I don't know if it's going to last half joined, but that'd be really good if it does. That's a result, that's an improvement. Hope that means it won't get any worse. And as I've said, next January when I'm going to net pretty much all the carp and have a look at them. My plan is that I might do a glue and sew, so glue and suture, and I'll do much larger sutures. So I was trying to go. I'll talk about this all in the video when I do it. I was trying to go quite fine, not taking too much of the fin, and I think that was maybe a mistake when I did the sutures. So I might go in much broader, which isn't really a good way of doing sutures if you don't have to, but I think perhaps you have to in this case. And glue as well. That's my plan. And I will almost certainly sedate if I'm going to use sutures. But I might do the whole, if I'm going to get the fish out, I might as well do it, I think. But we'll see. Again. And if it's starting to look infected, I think what I do, if it starts to look problematic, which any wound on a fish can just randomly, regardless of how healthy the environment is, you can look, you know, fish can just get infections like we can. Then I'll get it out and treat it, but I won't necessarily sew it up. and then I'll wait till next winter. That's my plan. Well, the end of next winter, that's February. I think that's probably it for today. Not a lot else to talk about. I might see you tomorrow. I might see you Friday, or it might not be till Saturday. And I will see you then. But we'll see. You'll find out in a minute. I won't know for a few days how much of this I'm doing, but you'll know in about 3 or 4 seconds. See you later. Hello. It is Friday afternoon. I'm on my break from work, and either before this vlog comes out, but probably after, you will see a video that I've just filmed against this very green screen in my garage. I'll mess it up, as this is a vlog, not a proper video. I just filmed a video against that green screen. And it's all about 7 pieces of advice I'd give a prospective pond keeper, or a new pond keeper. I'm not sure how I'm going to say it. Yeah, it went quite well videoing it for me. I've had some notes. I've got a laptop next to me. Yeah, I don't know what happened then. I think I turned my camera off. Yeah, I got my laptop, which I've got my notes on, and I didn't read them word for word, but it went quite well. And yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, I'd like to get a teleprompter. That would be really cool. I'd like to have a proper camera, not an iPhone. I don't want pointing at the camera. That's weird, isn't it? Rather than an iPhone. And then I could have a kind of mirror, and then I could have a teleprompter. There's lots of videos online about how to do it. I'd really like that. It'd make me be able to look at the camera and read text as well. Because as you know, if you've watched these vlogs a lot, I stumble over words. Something chronic. Yeah, so that was good fun filming that. Not a lot to talk about pond-wise. I've been quite busy with work, as I say, Friday afternoon. So I'm on my break. When I go back, I'll have another 3 hours till 8 o'clock tonight, and then I'm done. And then I think I've got 4 days off. So I've got lots planned in the pond and garden. Fish are doing fine. The carp fin, I'm not going to take you out there. It's too hot. Such a typical Briton, aren't I? Carp fin is looking about half joined still, which is better than the suturing, but not great. Yeah, it's the first time I've done it. You know, I'm never very good at jobs the first time I do them. And some jobs you end up doing in this hobby, you only ever do once, or potentially only ever do once. So I don't tend to get things right first time. But anyway, I'm waffling terribly. Not a lot else to tell you. The weather's been great. Fish have been eating loads. Pond's looking all right. Algae hasn't gone anywhere. Hasn't got worse significantly, but hasn't got better. I've got a plan to put another dose in the week after next. That's because I've got to do a big clean on the Tempest and pressure filter, and I don't really, I'll probably lose a lot of water doing that. So I think what I'll do a week Saturday is do a clean, and then I'll treat it once the pond's topped back up again, and then I won't do my midweek clean. So I won't lose any of the water with the treatment in, which I think is lessened it even more. As you may know, I don't give a full dose anyway. So yeah. Anyway, I am really waffling. I may well edit this out. I say that a lot and I leave it in, but I may well edit this out. So yeah, that'll do for now. Very quick one today. Not a lot cooking. Got to get back to work in a minute. How long have I got? Oh God, 10 minutes. That's all I've got. I will definitely come back to you tomorrow, which for you will be in 3, 2, 1, go. Hello, it's Saturday. Ooh, nearly dropped it. It's Saturday, I think lunchtime, not sure, about that, nearly afternoon. And I've finished doing the big filter clean and pond vacuuming and all of that. And I've just started on some other jobs. So I've tidied up the garage. Let me turn you around. Yeah, so tidied up the garage. I'll tell you what that table is in a minute. Yeah, so that's good. Now, yeah, this table I was using for many things. I was putting my pond vac on it when I cleaned the pond. I was doing lots of different things with it. It's just basically a pallet that I've screwed some of the spare posts that I made the heron fence out of too. And yeah, it just made it into a bit of a table. It's a bit big. really. But we're going to use it for something else. So you may have seen earlier in the week, I hope you have, that I moved my wife's greenhouse to the other corner of the garden. And as well as that greenhouse, she's got some sacks that she grows veg in. And what we're going to do is use this table to put those sacks on, because it's just good for backs, isn't it? Not have to lean over too much. So what I'm doing is I've given it a bit of a sand, not too much, because yeah, it's just going to have some sacks on it. And now I'm giving it some probably just a couple of coats of the brown paint. So I'm doing the underneath, do a couple of coats of that, then turn it over, then do the top of it. And that's it really. It'll do the top. Oh, and I've also chopped the legs a little bit. One, to make it a bit low, and two, because it wasn't very level, like much of my work is. Right. Sorry for going a bit wobbly. I'm just picking up an old coffee jar of some food, and we'll go and feed the fish through the conservatory, which is a little bit tidier, not thanks to me. And you will see the pond is filling up. Flow coming out the pump, still good. That's all great. Fish are looking all right. See if that common carp will show you its fin. Yeah, you see it's kind of half split, but that's okay. I don't mind. Let's give them some food. Oh, one-handed. I've dropped it all over the floor. Right. There you go. That's some food fish. And we'll walk around here. Which, as you know, the fish are much happier if I stand over here than if I go and stand anywhere else in the garden when they're eating. I was feeding them this morning whilst I was like boiling the tempest and things like that. And yeah, they love it. And they are starting to look for it a little bit. When I'm over here and doing things, they're starting to look for it, and they're starting to put two and two together. So my pond is filling up. It's not quite, let me show you. It's not quite in the skimmer enough for me to turn the skimmer back on. But yeah. Right. So I will turn you around again. Yeah, so end of the week. It's been a good week. I've got quite a few jobs done, as you all know. Plus I've done quite a lot of work as well, so it's been a nice balance, and I would say starting to enjoy work again. If you don't know, I've been off work for quite a bit. I promise to talk about that more, because it did affect my pond keeping too. So it's worth having a conversation about. But yeah, I was off work for quite a long time, and did a bit of a phase return, and now I'm back fully and enjoying it, which I haven't done for a long time really. But it's not really about work, it's about me. So yeah, it's good to get back to work and start to feel like I'm being productive and contributing. And I work for a really good team. They're really nice and really supportive, so that makes everything easier, doesn't it? Right, so as for the pond next week, I am going to do a big clean on the pressure filter. I always forget what they're called. The pressure filter and the tempest, taking them apart. I will video little bits, but there is already, as you may well know, a video about how I do all of that, so I will link to that. And what else am I doing? I will obviously Mundale getting the pond, cut the plants back. I might have a look at the pump just to see how that's going. I don't think I've got a lot else directly with the pond other than that. Tomorrow I'm going to be trying to make, for £0 and 0 pence, because this is true of 90% of my projects at the moment, try and make an automatic watering thing for my wife's raised beds, which isn't as complicated as it sounds. There's already a hose there from a failed attempt at doing the same thing. So basically, if I got enough spare bits of hose and spare hose parts, I should be able to set it up so my wife just has to turn a tap, a bit like I do when I fill this pond up, and it will water the raised beds, which I think, you know, she doesn't care so much, but I like making these little things. Yeah, and I should be getting some stuff. There's a famous site that's got a bit of a reputation online for being a bit cheap and nasty and a bit inconsistent, but I've ordered some stuff from them. and we'll see how it goes. I'll talk about it more if and when it comes, and some of it's garden related, not really pond related. I wouldn't buy pond stuff from them, but it's garden related, and we'll see how that goes, and I'll show you that if it works. But that's it for today, and that's it for this week's vlog. I am on 918. I've said this twice now because I said it in when I filmed my episode 112 clip as well, and I haven't changed numbers, so I'm at 918, which is 82 away from 1,000. I wonder if that timed it. I'm not going to fiddle with it if it didn't. I'm not going to edit to make it time it, but you know, I can't be cool on YouTube. I can't be cool on anything, but I can't be cool on YouTube. But thanks very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I'm getting there. You know, view the whole video. If you get bored of some of my videos, just leave them running. Nobody will know. They'll think you viewed it, and I'll get the view hours. I'm sorry, that's terrible. Yeah, share them, like them, comment, do all that stuff. Yeah, thanks again, and I will see you next time.